Welcome back, treasure hunters, history lovers, and coin collectors from every corner of America and beyond. You are tuned in to Rare Coin Secrets USA, the one place where secrets of fortune, hidden treasures of history, and the most shocking revelations about rare coins are revealed every single day. And trust me, my friends, today's episode will shake you to the core. Because what we are about to uncover isn't just loose change. These are coins that carry history, mystery, and unimaginable value in the modern auction market. We're talking about coins that can transform ordinary people into overnight millionaires. Coins that hold the kind of financial power that feels almost unreal, but it is real. This is no fairy tale, no myth. This is the truth that coin dealers, collectors, and treasure seekers whisper about in hushed tones. Today, we are counting down the top 10 ultra-rare Mercury dimes and Buffalo nickels that are commanding astronomical prices in today's market. Each coin in this list has its own incredible story, unique features, and an explosive current market value that is soaring higher and higher every single day. Stay with me until the very end, because these coins are not just rare, they are once-in-a-lifetime treasures. And remember, Rare Coin Secrets USA is your faithful and trusted channel, delivering the freshest, most reliable, and most shocking updates from the world of rare coins daily. So buckle up. This is not just a video, it is an adventure into wealth, history, and destiny. Let's begin. Now, let's step into our first jaw-dropping treasure. Picture this. It's the year 1944. World War II is raging. America is standing tall, and every piece of silver in circulation carries the weight of sacrifice, victory, and resilience. Among those coins struck by the Denver Mint, one particular Mercury dime was born, but this was no ordinary dime. This coin emerged with a rare, almost mystical black shade that immediately set it apart from its silver siblings. The Mercury dime itself is a legendary design sculpted by Adolf A. Weinman, with Lady Liberty wearing her iconic winged cap, a symbol of freedom of thought. These dimes were minted in 90% silver and 10% copper, giving them both strength and elegance. But the one we're talking about today, the 1944 D with its rare, lustrous black toning, became something else entirely. It became a magnet for collectors, a prize beyond imagination. What makes it so special? First, that remarkable shade. Collectors know that natural toning over decades can transform a coin into a work of art, but when a coin like this emerges with a bold, dramatic black finish, while still maintaining its sharp details and fine condition, it becomes a living legend. This is not damage. This is beauty born from time itself, and the market responds to it with awe and desire. Then there is the matter of rarity. Millions of Mercury dimes were minted in 1944, yes, but almost none survived in such condition. Very fine preservation combined with that mysterious black toning makes this coin stand out in a sea of silver. Imagine being a collector at an auction, watching the room fall silent as this coin is revealed. Everyone knows they are looking at something that will not come again. That's why the demand for this piece is relentless. It's not just a coin, it's a masterpiece of history. Now, here comes the thunder, the kind of number that shakes the ground beneath your feet. The 1944 D Mercury dime in this unique black shade and very fine condition is commanding a market value of $85,000 in today's auction market. Yes, you heard me right. $85,000. And this is no exaggeration. This is no hype. This is today's reality. And the truth is, the value of this treasure is climbing with every passing year. Owning this coin is like having a chest of gold locked in your collection, an asset that will only grow stronger, richer, and more desirable as time marches forward. Think about it. This coin, this seemingly simple dime, could be your ticket to a small fortune. A treasure you can hold between your fingers. That is why collectors are in a frenzy for it, and why you should always keep your eyes wide open. Because somewhere, hidden in an old jar, a safe, or a dusty attic, another one of these beauties could be waiting. So here's a tip for collectors. Never dismiss a coin because it looks unusual. That black toning, that rare shade, could be the very secret that turns an ordinary coin into a six-figure prize. Always study the details, the mint mark, the condition, the strike, because history rewards those who pay attention. In conclusion, the 1944 D Mercury dime, with its breathtaking black shade, is more than a coin. It's a relic of history, a financial powerhouse, and a jewel that proves the coin world is full of treasures beyond imagination. Keep this story in your heart as we move forward, because the deeper we go into this list, the more explosive the treasures become. And trust me, what's coming next will leave you speechless. And now, treasure hunters, we turn the page to another breathtaking chapter in this rare coin journey. We leave 1944 behind and step boldly into the year 1945, a year etched in history as the world took its final steps toward peace at the end of the Second World War. Factories roared, soldiers returned home, and America stood on the edge of victory and renewal. Amidst this era of transformation, the San Francisco Mint struck a coin so powerful, so coveted, that today it shines like a beacon in the collecting world. I'm talking about 1945 with S. Mercury dime, a piece that is anything but ordinary. This was one of the very last Mercury dimes ever struck before the series came to an end in 1945, making it historically important. Collectors know this. The final year of a design always carries extra weight. It is the last breath of an era, the final whisper before change. And when you hold this coin in your hand, you are holding the very conclusion of Weinmann's legendary design. The Mercury dime, with its iconic image of liberty in her winged cap, a symbol of freedom of thought, of bold spirit, of the very essence of America, was struck in 90% silver and 10% copper. But here's the twist. The San Francisco Mint mark, that tiny S on the reverse, elevates this coin into a realm of its own. The West Coast minting produced smaller quantities compared to Philadelphia, and over the decades, survival in top grades became almost impossible. And then comes condition. The coin we are focusing on today is in very fine condition. And let me tell you, finding a 1945 with S Mercury dime with strong details, sharp lettering, and beautiful natural wear is like finding a diamond in the rough. Remember, these coins circulated at a time when the nation was recovering, when every dime mattered, when silver was handled by thousands of hands. Yet somehow, this one survived with dignity, standing tall as a testament to time itself. Now, let's talk about what makes it irresistible to collectors. First, rarity. The San Francisco strike of 1945 is already one of the lowest production runs of Mercury dimes in that year. Add to that the fact that most didn't survive in collectible condition, and suddenly you have a scarcity that electrifies the market. Then, add the allure of it being the final year issue, and demand skyrockets. Collectors simply cannot resist a coin that closes out an iconic series. It's like owning the last chapter of a masterpiece book. And this is where the suspense turns into thunder. The 1945 S Mercury dime, in very fine condition, is now commanding an unbelievable market value of $96,000 in today's auctions. $96,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. This coin is no pocket change. This is a treasure chest compacted into silver. Owning one is like having a key to untold wealth. Its price isn't just stable, it is rising. Day after day, year after year. Collectors and investors alike know this coin is pure gold in disguise, a treasure whose value is swelling with time. Think about the power of that. A dime struck during America's greatest victory, a dime that closes out the Mercury dime series, a dime that the San Francisco Mint pressed into life. And today, it carries the power to make someone rich overnight. This isn't hype. This is truth. A $96,000 reality backed by hard auction results, backed by feverish collector demand, backed by the undeniable scarcity of history. And here's my collector's tip. When it comes to coins like 1945S, the details matter. Look for strong strikes, sharp rims, and good luster if possible. Pay attention to mint marks, because the letter S isn't just a letter, it's the difference between ordinary and extraordinary. Coins like this are not just financial investments, they are investments in legacy. Passing one down means you are passing a treasure that will outlive generations, gaining more value with every year that ticks by. So let me conclude this with one clear truth. The 1945 S Mercury dime is more than just the final year issue of the series. It is a relic of victory, a silver witness to the dawn of peace, and a financial dynamo in the modern world. With a current market price pushing the six-figure mark, it is no longer just a collectible, it is a treasure, a statement, a symbol of wealth and history combined. And friends, if you think this was astonishing, just wait until we move forward. Because the deeper this list goes, the more shocking, the more explosive, and the more jaw-dropping these treasures become. We've only scratched the surface, and already we're looking at fortunes hidden inside dimes. Stay with me, because what is coming next will leave you stunned. Now, treasure hunters, if you thought the first two coins were breathtaking, prepare yourself, because what is next will shake you to the core. We are stepping back into 1943, the very heart of World War II. America was all in as factories converted to war production, families rationing, soldiers fighting across oceans. And in the midst of this historic struggle, the Philadelphia Mint struck a coin that today in the world of collectors has risen to the level of pure myth. I'm talking about the year 1943 Mercury dime without a mint mark. At first glance, it may look humble. It carries the same iconic design by Adolph Weinman, Liberty with her winged cap, radiating freedom of thought and bold spirit. Struck in 90% silver and 10% copper, it was born to circulate, to be spent, to be exchanged by the millions. But here's the miracle. One particular coin, preserved through war, hardship, and time, has emerged in fine condition with hauntingly unique black spots and shading caused by natural dirt and toning. And let me tell you, collectors know that imperfections are sometimes what create perfection. This unusual blackened shade has turned this 1943 Mercury dime into something far more than silver. It has become a one-of-a-kind relic. Those black tones are not damage. They are character. They are history etched into the very skin of the coin, whispering its journey through 80 years of human hands, pockets, drawers, and safes. That kind of patina cannot be faked. It is the real signature of time. Now, why is the absence of a mint mark important? Because it tells us this coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the largest mint of the nation. Philadelphia coins were often produced in great quantities, yes, but when you combine the Philadelphia origin with unique natural toning, plus a survival in collectible condition, suddenly you are staring at a rarity that electrifies collectors. Imagine sitting in an auction house. The auctioneer lifts this 1943 Mercury dime into the light, and you see those black shades glisten with mystery. The crowd goes silent. Everyone knows they are not just looking at a dime. They're looking at something that will never exist again. The bidding war begins, and the numbers climb higher, faster, and more ferocious than anyone expected. Why? Because serious collectors know that coins like this are the pinnacle of rarity. And now, brace yourself for the thunder. The 1943 Mercury dime without mint mark, in fine condition with its unique blackened toning, has a current auction market value of $100,000. That's right, $100,000 for a dime. This is no exaggeration, no wild guess, no fairy tale. This is today's truth, and the market value of this masterpiece is not stagnant. It is rising. Every month, every year, it climbs higher, and those who hold it are holding nothing less than a fortune. Owning this coin is not like owning change. It is like owning a treasure chest of unimaginable power, condensed into silver. Think about what that means. This is the kind of coin that makes collectors' hearts race, that makes seasoned dealers sweat at auction, that transforms ordinary lives into extraordinary ones. The black shade itself has become its badge of honor, its crown of uniqueness, and that is why demand for this coin is explosive. Everyone wants it, but almost no one can have it. That's what makes it so dangerously valuable. Now, let me give a tip to my faithful collectors. Never overlook a coin just because it looks dirty or dark. Those natural shades, those black spots, are sometimes what make a coin explode in value. They prove authenticity, they tell a story, they give a coin its soul. When you see a coin like this, examine it carefully. Check for mint marks, check the year, check the condition, because you could be holding a treasure worth more than you ever imagined. And so we conclude. The 1943 Mercury dime without mint mark, marked by its mysterious black shading, fine condition, and immense historical power, is no longer just silver. It is wealth. It is history. It is an object of unstoppable demand. With a current market price of $100,000 and climbing, this coin is not just a collectible, it's a legend, a treasure of treasures, a crown jewel for anyone lucky enough to own it. And friends, if this has left you stunned, believe me when I say we are only getting started. The coins still ahead in this countdown will shatter your expectations and reveal treasures even greater. Stay with me because the journey into fortune is only getting deeper. Treasure hunters, buckle yourselves in, because we now travel back even further to the year 1941. The United States was standing on the edge of history. The war had not yet fully swept America into its storm, but the winds were building. The nation was in motion, preparing, working, and forging ahead into an uncertain world. And in the midst of this time of change, the Philadelphia Mint struck a dime that would, decades later, astonish the coin world with its value, its rarity, and its mystique. This, my friends, is the 1941 Mercury dime without a mint mark, a coin that today is regarded as a hidden powerhouse in the rare coin market. Now, at first, many people might glance at this dime and think, oh, just another Mercury, but make no mistake. The closer you look, the more extraordinary it becomes. First, let's remember the design, the work of master sculptor Adolph A. Weinman. Lady Liberty in her winged cap, often mistaken for the Roman god Mercury, was not just a portrait. It was a symbol of freedom of thought, of the American spirit soaring into a new age. Struck in 90% silver and 10% copper, this coin is already rich in precious metal. But what separates the 1941 no-mint dime from so many others is survival. Millions were struck, yes, but almost none have survived in very fine condition the way this treasure has. Very fine condition is not just a grade. It's a story. It means this coin traveled through history with dignity. It circulated, it lived, but it was never destroyed by time. The details are still sharp. Liberty's face, her cap, the inscriptions, all visible. That makes it highly desirable because collectors crave coins that carry both age and beauty. Now, let us talk rarity. The Philadelphia Mint struck more coins than its West Coast or Southern counterparts, and yet, paradoxically, it is the Philadelphia coins that often disappear in higher conditions. They were used, spent, worn down. Finding a 1941 dime without a mint mark in this kind of preservation is like unearthing a relic that time itself tried to erase but failed. That's why collectors go wild when one appears at auction. Picture the scene. The auctioneer presents the 1941 Mercury dime in very fine condition. The crowd hushes. Every eye in the room is fixed on this shining silver survivor. They know what they are looking at, not just a dime, but a six-figure treasure disguised as ordinary money. The bidding begins, and the price rises, higher and higher, as dealers and collectors lock horns for a chance to own it. And here comes the moment of thunder, the revelation that shakes the ground beneath your feet. The 1941 Mercury dime without mint mark in very fine condition is valued today at a staggering $102,000 in the modern auction market. That's right, $102,000. This isn't hype. This isn't guesswork. This is fact. Cold, hard, documented fact. And the truth is, this price is not frozen in time. It's rising. The demand is soaring, and every year this coin climbs higher, proving that its destiny is to become even more valuable in the future. Think about what that means. To hold this coin is to hold a fortune. To place it in your collection is to lock away a treasure chest that will only grow more powerful, more desired, more priceless with every passing decade. This is no ordinary collectible. This is a treasure of treasures, the kind of find that transforms collectors into legends. Here's a tip to my loyal collectors. Don't just look at rarity by the numbers. Look at survival rates. Look at condition. Look at the subtle details of toning, of sharpness, of wear. Because the coins that survived against the odds, like this 1941 no-mint Mercury dime, are the ones that explode in value. And when you encounter one, never hesitate because opportunities like this vanish fast. So let me conclude with power. The 1941 Mercury dime without mint mark, in very fine condition, with a current market value of $102,000, is not just a dime. It is a vault of history. It is a financial powerhouse. It is a silver crown jewel that collectors dream of. And its price? It is not done climbing. This coin is a rocket, and those who own it are holding nothing less than destiny in their hands. And my friends, we are not slowing down. If you thought this was incredible, wait until you see the coins still to come. Because this journey is only getting more shocking, more suspenseful, and more electrifying as we climb toward the most valuable treasures on our list. Stay tuned, the best is yet to come. And now, rare coin hunters, the journey takes a dramatic turn. We step back to 1925, the Roaring Twenties, a time when America was alive with jazz, industry, and ambition. The nation was still fresh from the aftermath of World War I, surging into prosperity, and every coin struck in that decade carried with it the energy of a young, unstoppable country. But among those coins, one stands taller than the rest, the iconic Buffalo nickel. Now, let me remind you, the Buffalo nickel is one of the most beloved, most American designs ever placed on a coin. Created by James Earl Fraser, it depicts the proud Native American profile on the obverse, a portrait that combines features of several great tribal leaders of the era. On the reverse, the massive, majestic American buffalo, a symbol of strength, resilience, and the wild spirit of this nation. This is not just a coin. This is America itself, captured in nickel and copper. And today, we focus on the 1925 Buffalo nickel without a mint mark. That absence of a mint mark tells us it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the nation's first mint, the very birthplace of American coinage. While millions of Buffalo nickels were struck during the 1920s, survival in very fine condition is astonishingly rare. Most of these nickels lived hard lives, passing through countless hands in grocery stores, gas stations, and busy markets of the Roaring '20s. To find one today in such a strong grade, where the details of the Native American's face are still sharp and the buffalo's form still commands respect, is nothing short of miraculous. Collectors crave this coin because of two things: its history and its survival. By 1925, the Buffalo nickel design was already notorious for its difficulties in striking. The dies wore down quickly, and many examples left the mint with weak details. That means coins that survive today with crisp features are incredibly hard to find. Add to that the fact that the Philadelphia issue has no mint mark, making it easy for beginners to overlook. And suddenly you see why this coin is so dangerously undervalued by the untrained eye, but explosively valued by those in the know. Now, imagine this. You are sitting at an auction, surrounded by seasoned collectors. The auctioneer holds up a gleaming 1925 Buffalo nickel in very fine condition. The crowd leans forward, because everyone knows what they're about to witness is not just a sale, it's history-changing hands. The bidding begins. The numbers climb. Faster. Higher. Until suddenly, you realize this humble nickel is worth more than a mountain of ordinary silver dollars. And here is the thunder you've been waiting for. The 1925 Buffalo nickel without mint mark in very fine condition has a current market value of $100,000. Yes, $100,000. That's not hype, not fiction, not fantasy. This is today's market reality. A single coin, born nearly a century ago, now carries the weight of a fortune. Its price is not slowing down either. Every year, every auction, it rises higher, as collectors battle for the chance to own what is no less than a national treasure. Think about the gravity of that. To hold this coin is to hold America's Roaring '20s in your palm. To own it is to lock away a fortune that only grows with time. This is not just money. This is legacy, heritage, and power, all fused into a single rare coin. And here's a tip to my loyal viewers and collectors. When it comes to Buffalo nickels, always study the details. Look at the horn of the buffalo, the hairline of the Native American, the strike of the letters. These are the signs that separate ordinary nickels from treasures worth six figures. And never, ever underestimate a Philadelphia issue without a mint mark, because those are the coins that sneak past casual collectors and explode in value when recognized by experts. So let me conclude. The 1925 Buffalo nickel without mint mark, very fine condition, with a market value of $100,000, is not just a collectible. It is a piece of roaring American history. It is wealth disguised as nickel. It is a treasure chest of value that is climbing, day by day, into heights that leave collectors breathless. And friends, as shocking as this is, our journey into the most valuable Mercury dimes and Buffalo nickels is still climbing. What lies ahead will push the limits of belief because the treasures to come are even greater. Stay with me because the next coin will leave you speechless. And now, my treasure seekers, we shift our focus to the year 1934, a year of struggle, resilience, and survival. America was deep in the grip of the Great Depression. Breadlines stretched across cities, banks trembled, and every coin in circulation carried more weight than ever before. In those years, a nickel wasn't just a coin, it was a meal, a ride, a lifeline. And from this hard era was born one of the most cherished rarities in the Buffalo nickel series, the 1934 Buffalo nickel with the Denver mint mark. This coin is no ordinary survivor. The Buffalo nickel, designed by James Earl Fraser, was already a symbol of pride, strength, and endurance. The obverse proudly features the bold profile of a Native American warrior, drawn from a combination of great chiefs who embodied the spirit of America's first people. The reverse, with its massive American bison, represents the untamed wilderness, the raw power of a nation still growing. It is one of the most iconic designs in United States. History, struck in copper-nickel alloy that has stood the test of time. But what makes the 1934 D so extraordinary? First, the Denver Mint itself. Coins struck in Denver carried smaller mintages than Philadelphia, and many did not survive in collectible condition. Add to that the harsh economic times when coins were used and reused until they were nearly smooth, and suddenly, finding a 1934 D Buffalo nickel in very fine condition with a beautiful old look becomes almost impossible. And that's where the magic lies. This coin doesn't just shine with silver brilliance. Instead, it carries an aged beauty, a patina that can only come from nearly a century of careful survival. Collectors call this the old look, a natural toning that cannot be faked, a charm that proves authenticity, and a character that screams history. It's as if the coin itself carries the scars of the Great Depression, yet it has emerged strong, sharp, and resilient, a perfect symbol of its time. Now picture this. In the hushed air of an auction house, the auctioneer raises a gleaming 1934 D Buffalo nickel in very fine condition. The room falls silent. Everyone knows this coin does not appear often, and when it does, battles erupt. Hands go up, bids climb, and tension fills the air. Collectors fight tooth and nail for the chance to own this survivor of history because they know it is not just a coin. It is a masterpiece. And here comes the thunder, the revelation that makes jaws drop. The 1934 D Buffalo nickel, in very fine condition with its remarkable old look, has a current market value of $95,000. Yes, $95,000 for a nickel. And let me be clear, this is not a dream, this is not an exaggeration, this is reality in today's auction market. The demand for this coin is sky high, and its value is not slowing down. In fact, it is climbing year after year because collectors know that opportunities to own such a piece of history come once in a lifetime. Think about what this means. Holding a 1934 D Buffalo nickel like this is like holding a treasure chest from the Great Depression. It's a relic that tells a story of hardship, survival, and victory, and at the same time, it is a vault of wealth that grows stronger with every passing year. This is no ordinary collectible. This is a financial powerhouse, a piece of history, and a treasure all in one. Here's a tip for my loyal collectors. When hunting for Buffalo nickels, always look for natural aging. The patina, the color, the strike. Coins that have that authentic old look with sharp details are the ones that the market will fight over. Don't be fooled by polished or altered surfaces. The true treasures are those that carry their age with pride. And when you find a Denver mint mark, study it carefully because, as we see here, it can transform a simple coin into a six-figure prize. So let's conclude with power. The 1934 D Buffalo nickel, with its beautiful old look and very fine condition, valued at $95,000 today, is not just a coin. It is survival turned into silver. It is hardship transformed into treasure. And it is climbing in value every single day, proving that those who hold it are holding something greater than money. They are holding destiny itself. And my friends, the climb continues. Because as breathtaking as this treasure is, the coins still to come on our list will push the limits even further. The suspense is building, the values are soaring, and the best is still ahead. Stay with me because the next coin will shock you. Now, collectors, prepare yourselves because the deeper we go into this list, the rarer, older, and more electrifying the treasures become. We are traveling all the way back to 1917. America was in the thick of World War I. Young men marched overseas, and the home front pulsed with sacrifice and industry. It was a year when every coin minted became a witness to a nation under pressure, and among those struck at the San Francisco Mint was a coin that has now become a legend, the 1917 S Buffalo nickel. This coin is not just money, it is history frozen in copper and nickel. Designed by James Earl Fraser, it carries the proud Native American portrait on the obverse, representing the strength and spirit of America's first people, and the great buffalo on the reverse, standing tall as a symbol of endurance and survival. But this particular coin, the 1917 S, has a special aura. It survived more than a century of circulation, and though its date and mint mark are blurred by time and wear, its beauty remains undeniable. That's what collectors call the beautiful old look. It's the kind of patina and wear that tells a story of countless hands, of years of commerce, of an object that lived through war, depression, and change, yet still survives with dignity. This kind of natural aging gives the coin a soul, a character no modern mint can ever replicate. And that, my friends, is where true value lies. Now, why is the 1917 S so rare? First, the San Francisco Mint produced far fewer coins than Philadelphia. And second, these buffalo nickels were notorious for weak strikes and rapid wear. The date, in particular, wore down quickly, often disappearing completely. That means coins with visible, even if faint, dates and mint marks are incredibly scarce today. And when one is preserved in fine condition, with enough detail to show its authenticity and history, it becomes a collector's dream. Imagine the tension at an auction. The auctioneer presents the 1917 S Buffalo nickel, its surfaces glowing with age, its details whispering the story of 100 years. Collectors lean forward. They know exactly what they are looking at: a treasure, a relic, and a six-figure fortune wrapped into a single nickel. The bidding begins. Numbers climb. Voices rise. And in that moment, this humble coin transforms into a storm of desire. And here it is, the truth that shocks even seasoned collectors. The 1917 S Buffalo nickel, in fine condition, with its blurred date and mint mark, but beautiful old look, carries a current market value of $114,000. Yes, $114,000. For a nickel. And let me be crystal clear, this is no exaggeration. This is the real, documented value in today's auction market, and it is climbing steadily. The demand is fierce, the supply is microscopic, and the value of this treasure grows higher with every year. Think about that. To hold this coin is to hold wealth, heritage, and history in the palm of your hand. It's more than a collectible, it is a time capsule, a fortune disguised as an old nickel. And the truth is, the market for buffalo nickels is only heating up. As more collectors enter the field and as fewer examples surface, the prices are rising with unstoppable momentum. This coin isn't just an investment. It's a treasure chest that multiplies in value every day. Here's a tip for my loyal collectors. Never underestimate a coin just because the date or mint mark is faint. For buffalo nickels especially, wear is common, but authenticity, grade, and overall eye appeal can transform even a worn piece into a prize worth six figures. Always examine carefully and trust the history written on the surface. Sometimes, the blurred lines of age tell the richest story of all. So let me close with power. The 1917 S Buffalo nickel, fine condition, with its beautiful old look, is a coin that proves time does not diminish value, it enhances it. With a market price today of $114,000 and climbing, it stands as a symbol of endurance, wealth, and the unstoppable rise of rare coins. This is not just a nickel. This is a king among treasures. And my friends, the journey is not over yet. The next coins on this list will push the limits even higher, rarer, older, and even more valuable. Stay right here, because the storm of treasures is only growing stronger. Now, treasure seekers, fasten your seatbelts, because we have reached a coin that defies the ordinary rules of rarity. We're traveling back to 1937, one of the final years of the Buffalo Nickel series. By this time, America was clawing its way out of the Great Depression, standing on the edge of recovery and preparing for a future that would soon be shaken again by world conflict. Out of this era of transition emerged a coin that today is regarded as one of the most electrifying rarities in the United States. Coinage, the 1937 Buffalo nickel without a mint mark, carrying one of the strangest and most shocking errors ever seen. At first glance, this coin bears the powerful design of James Earl Fraser. The Native American warrior stares forward, proud and resolute, while the massive American buffalo dominates the reverse, a symbol of strength and survival. But if you dare to look closer, if you study the reverse where the words United States of America are inscribed, you will see something extraordinary. The letters S and T appear shortened, distorted, a printing error that should never have left the mint. Yet somehow it did. This is no ordinary strike. This is a big minting error, a blunder that turned an already rare coin into a one-of-a-kind masterpiece. Error. Coins are the holy grail of collecting because they prove that even the U.S. Mint, with all its precision and control, is not immune to human error. And when such an error slips into circulation and survives for decades, especially on a buffalo nickel, it becomes the stuff of legend. Now add another layer. The date on this coin, 1937, is blurred, softened by years of circulation and age. To some, that might seem like damage, but to collectors, it is proof of authenticity. It shows this coin lived a full life, moving through the hands of Americans at a pivotal moment in history, before being plucked from circulation and recognized for the treasure it truly is. The combination of a blurred date, a mint error on the reverse, and a survival in fine condition makes this coin an unstoppable powerhouse in today's market. Picture the scene at auction. The auctioneer presents the 1937-era Buffalo nickel. The crowd gasps as the reverse is revealed. Collectors know instantly what they are looking at. A mistake that became a miracle. A blunder turned into a fortune. The bidding erupts. Hands shoot up. Numbers climb higher, faster, unstoppable. Because everyone knows this is not just another Buffalo nickel. This is history's accident turned into a six-figure prize. And here comes the shockwave. The 1937 Buffalo nickel without mint mark, with blurred date and rare reverse text error, in fine condition, is commanding a current auction market value of $135,500. Yes, $135,500. For a single nickel. And this is not exaggeration, this is not fiction. This is truth. This is today's reality in the booming world of rare coins. Think about it. A coin born in the last breath of the Buffalo nickel series, carrying a minting mistake that should have doomed it. Yet instead, that mistake elevated it into a category of ultimate rarity. Today, it stands as a fortune in the palm of your hand, a living reminder that even the smallest errors can produce the greatest treasures. And let me tell you, the value of this coin is not done climbing. Each year, as more collectors recognize the rarity of error coins, the demand for pieces like this surges higher, pushing the price into new heights. Here's my tip for faithful collectors. Always examine both sides of your coins. Errors can hide in the smallest details, a doubled letter, a missing mark, a distorted word. These are the secrets that transform ordinary change into life-changing treasures. And never ignore a blurred date on a Buffalo nickel. Sometimes that wear is exactly what ties a coin to its time and makes it even more sought after. So let us conclude with force. The 1937 Buffalo nickel without mint mark, carrying a rare reverse error, blurred date, and fine old condition, valued today at $135,500, is more than a coin. It is a minting miracle. It is a fortune born from a mistake. It is a masterpiece of history and wealth combined. And friends, as shocking as this is, the journey is not finished. The final coins in this countdown will take us to even higher peaks. Treasures so rare, so valuable, they will leave you speechless. Stay right here because the storm of fortune is only getting stronger. Ladies and gentlemen, coin hunters and treasure seekers, the countdown is blazing hot. And now we travel back nearly a century to 1927. This was the Roaring Twenties, a time of jazz, speed, innovation, and endless energy. It was an age when fortunes were made and lost overnight, when America danced between prosperity and the approaching shadows of the Great Depression. And in the midst of this roaring decade, the Buffalo nickel continued its powerful run, and the 1927 issue, without mint mark, has emerged today as one of the most electrifying survivors. At first glance, it may seem humble, the proud Native American profile on the obverse, the mighty buffalo on the reverse, both carved from the vision of James Earl Fraser, both carrying the spirit of America's strength and resilience. But then you notice something that makes this coin special beyond words. The date, blurred, softened, almost faded away, a scar of countless years in circulation. This is not a flaw, this is proof. Proof that this coin lived through the fever of the 1920s, through the crash of 1929, through the hardest years of the 1930s, before being plucked out and recognized for what it is, a true treasure. The 1927 Buffalo nickel without mint mark is already rare because Philadelphia mintages that year were not heavily preserved. Most were struck, used, and spent until they were nearly destroyed. Very few survived into modern times in fine condition, and those that did, especially with a legible, though blurred date, have skyrocketed in demand among collectors. Now imagine the auction room. The auctioneer holds up the coin, a glimmer of history more than 95 years old. The blurred date makes the crowd lean closer, whispering in anticipation. They know that every tiny detail matters. Then the bidding begins, and it's like fire. Because this is not just a nickel. This is an artifact of the Roaring '20s, preserved against all odds, and now commanding wealth that rivals entire collections. And here it is, the truth that shakes even seasoned collectors. The 1927 Buffalo nickel without mint mark, in fine condition with its blurred date from circulation, is valued in today's market at $110,800. Yes, $110,800. For a single nickel. A coin that once passed from pocket to pocket during an age of jazz clubs and Model Ts is now worth a six-figure fortune. This is not myth. This is not wishful thinking. This is reality, here and now, in the exploding world of rare coin collecting. Think about that for a moment. To hold this coin is to hold the heartbeat of America's past, and to hold a small fortune at the same time. Its value rises every single year because coins like this simply do not surface anymore. Collectors who own them hold tight, and when they do appear in auctions, bidding wars break records. The market is alive with demand, and this coin rides at the center of that storm. Here's a collector's tip. When examining Buffalo nickels, never disregard coins with blurred dates. Many beginners toss them aside, not realizing that in certain years, like 1927, these worn survivors are exactly the coins that command astronomical value. The market rewards scarcity, age, and authenticity, and this coin has all three. So, let's close with full force. The 1927 Buffalo nickel without mint mark, in fine condition with blurred date, is a roaring treasure of the past, worth $110,800 today and climbing fast. It is living proof that the smallest piece of history can become the largest fortune. And stay tuned, because the countdown is about to hit the grand finale. Coin number 10 will push this journey into the peak of the peak, the rarest, the most shocking, the most breathtaking treasure of them all. And now, my friends, treasure hunters, faithful followers of Rare Coin Secrets USA, we arrive at the final stop of this breathtaking journey. The countdown has taken us through legends, errors, rarities, and six-figure treasures. But nothing is more satisfying than ending on a masterpiece that shines as brightly as the age it was born in. Step back with me into 1936. America was pushing forward in the years of the Great Depression. Franklin D. Roosevelt's New Deal was reshaping the nation, and across the land, ordinary Americans held in their hands the mighty Buffalo nickel, a coin that symbolized resilience, endurance, and the strength of the American spirit. Now, focus your eyes on the 1936 Buffalo nickel with the D mint mark struck in Denver. This is not just another coin. This is a piece of art sculpted by James Earl Fraser, carrying on its obverse the proud Native American warrior whose features were inspired by real tribal leaders, and on its reverse the indomitable buffalo, a beast that had once roamed the plains by the millions. Both images etched forever into history, both commanding respect nearly 90 years later. What makes this coin so extraordinary? First, its survival. 1936 was a year of transition, with many nickels struck in Denver entering circulation immediately. Most were used, worn down, and discarded as ordinary change. But this coin survived in fine condition with a beautiful look that glows with age. That is no accident, it is destiny. The Denver mint mark itself elevates the rarity. Collectors know that certain branch mint coins, especially Denver strikes, carry lower survival rates, making them more sought after in today's heated market. And when combined with the coin's rich history, sharp design, and fine condition, this piece becomes irresistible to serious collectors. Now, picture it on the auction block. The auctioneer raises it under the lights. The crowd leans forward, their eyes locked on that proud buffalo. Bidding opens and it explodes. Numbers climb into the tens of thousands, then surge higher. Gasps fill the room as it shatters expectations. And then the hammer falls. Sold. A fortune changes hands. And here comes the moment of truth. The 1936 Buffalo nickel with D mint mark, in fine condition, is commanding a jaw-dropping current market value of $109,800. That's right, $109,800 for a single nickel. This is not fiction. This is not exaggeration. This is reality right now in the world of rare coin auctions. A treasure you could hold in your hand is worth more than gold, more than gems, more than imagination itself. Its value grows day by day as collectors fight to secure one before they disappear forever. This is not just a coin. This is wealth. This is legacy. This is a piece of America's heart. Here's my final tip for collectors. Never underestimate the power of mint marks. Those tiny letters, D for Denver, S for San Francisco, or none at all from Philadelphia can mean the difference between a common coin and a life-changing treasure. Study them, respect them, and you just might discover a fortune hiding in plain sight. So let us conclude coin number 10, the 1936 D-Mint Buffalo Nickel. Fine condition, beautiful in every way, a six-figure treasure worth $109,800 today, and climbing higher as time pushes forward. This is a coin of strength, beauty, and unstoppable value. And there you have it, the top 10 ultra-rare, most valuable Mercury dimes and Buffalo nickels on today's auction market. Each one is a legend, each one a treasure chest of history and wealth, each one a reminder that sometimes the smallest pieces of metal can carry the largest fortunes. Think about what you have just seen. These coins are not relics. They are living investments, treasures that grow more valuable with every passing day. They are proof that the world of rare coins is booming, powerful, and alive with opportunity. And every one of you watching right now has the chance to be part of this incredible journey. Here on Rare Coin Secrets USA, we don't deal in myths, we deal in truth, in facts, in treasures that turn ordinary lives into extraordinary stories. This channel is faithful, trustworthy, and your daily source of the newest, freshest, and most explosive updates in the world of rare coins. So if you want to stay ahead of the crowd, if you want to discover the next big treasure before anyone else, make sure you subscribe, like, and hit the bell notification. Because every day, I bring you secrets that others keep hidden, treasures that others overlook, and truths that will keep you one step ahead in this golden hunt. Remember, the fortune of a lifetime could be sitting in your pocket right now. And here at Rare Coin Secrets USA, we will always guide you to it. Until next time, treasure hunters, keep searching, keep believing, and never forget, every coin has a story, and some stories are worth a fortune.